has the undefeated Cardinals flying high, and so too are his MVP odds. According to Fox Bet Sportsbook, Kyler is projected to win the award outright ahead of Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Tom Brady. So, Shannon, can you see Kyler winning MVP?
Yeah, he's playing phenomenal football right now, Skip. We always knew he had great legs, and now they've given him more weapons than D-Hop. Bring in a Green from Cincinnati, Rondale Moore, Christian Kirk. They run the ball well enough, but their running attack is really Kyler Murray, Skip. A lot of times on scrambles. Sometimes they do design runs. The defense is better than I thought it would be, Skip. This team's for real, and Kyler Murray's going to be there at the very end. But, Skip, we have a long way to go. You remember last year, it wasn't decided the MVP until like the last 3 weeks of the season because it was for the first 8 weeks, remember, it was Russell Wilson. Russell running away with it, Skip, and then here come Mahomes.
I loved Kyler before you did.
You did?
I picked Kyler to upset the Rams last week, and it cost you more cases with Diet Dew. I give him a good shot to win MVP if he can stay healthy and stay
That was my only concern,
way.
Skip.
I got it. But Tom Brady is going to win MVP because his season starts now. Obviously, he had a game-winning drive against my Cowboys on opening night, 5 touchdown passes against Atlanta, and then 432 passing yards against the Rams. And then he had to ride the emotional roller coaster all the way to Foxborough, and he barely, narrowly escaped it, and now his season starts.
Skip.
He's going to go after the all-time passing record, and I don't think you can stop him.
I think there are a lot of guys going to be on the cusp of that record, especially adding that 17th game, Skip. But don't count on Mahomes, but here's a dark horse, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, Skip, he's going to be there because his numbers, he's going to be right around, another 1,000 yards, and he's throwing the ball. I said all he needed to get was incrementally better throwing the football. He's going to be there at the end, but it's going to be a hodgepodge right there at the end.
The 44-year-old is not going to lose another game. He's going to throw a bunch of touchdown passes.
What, my homeboy going somewhere? Aaron Rodgers going somewhere?
Anywhere. Not yet.
You see him? My homeboy lead the league
Great
in touchdown passes.
Usual Undisputed is back same time tomorrow morning. The Herd is on now. Have a great day. Undisputed.
I expected it from them. I just know how they operate. You know, that's just their, mode of operation there. Player safety is secondary.
You're throwing the ball in the end zone with 10 seconds left. I don't know that there's a 16-point touchdown that's going to be possible right there. So, that didn't have anything to do with winning the game. So, like I said, what's meaningful to us might not be meaningful to them, and we're not going to concern ourselves with that.
Shannon, these are your teams.
Yeah.
Whose side are you on?
John Harbaugh's. I have no issue with what they did. That wasn't the reason why you lost the game. The last 5, 8 yards, whatever Lamar Jackson ran for, that wasn't the reason you lost the game. Skip, if somebody would have told Vic Fangio, you're going to hold the Baltimore Ravens offense to 105 yards rushing, you're going to say, we win the game. You did, but Lamar beat you throwing the ball. You walk to the middle of the field, you shake his hand, say, good job, son, good luck, stay healthy, hopefully we see you down the road. That's what you do. I want to play for a guy like John Harbaugh because we've seen it before. A guy needs 2 yards to get 100 yards rushing. They put him back in the game, he gets the yard. A guy needs a catch to keep a streak alive. They put him in the game and they let him get it. They've always done this. If you didn't want them, you wanted them to take a knee, why are you trying to score with 10 seconds left? You should be mad at your quarterback, Drew Lock, because he had the running back right over the ball, wide open for a touchdown, and he threw it to the guy that was covered. So be mad at Drew Lock. Don't be mad at John Harbaugh. So I got no problem with John Harbaugh is under no obligation to take a knee. They do that. Skip, we get in victory formation. We choose to do that. Safety of the game, don't worry about that. Just play. Until the officials blow the whistle, there's 0-0, you play the game. You relax, that's you. I'm glad they got it. Yeah, that means something. 43 straight games with at least 100 yards. That's over 3 seasons.
Tied the Pittsburgh Steelers record.
Yeah, get that. And I hope they get it again.
Okay, I basically agree with everything you just said, but it gave me pause. It knocked me back in my seat to hear Vic Fangio, who's been doing this for 37 years in this league, take that kind of shot at an organization for which I have the highest regard. The Ozzie Newsome run Baltimore Ravens.
And they're going to always do what's, trust me, I was in that organization.
You were there.
And guess what, Skip? If there's another record come up, guess what? John Harbaugh is going to put the guys in position to go get it. So anybody else that's going to be mad, go ahead and get mad now because they're going to do it.
Vic Fangio coached for the Ravens for 4 years. And 2 of those years, the last 2, were the first 2 years that John Harbaugh was the head coach. So he knows of what he speaks from the inside out.
Yes.
He knows, he was there, he lived it. That's what took me aback was he said, I thought it was kind of BS. I expected it from them. He says, 37 years of pro ball, I've never seen anything like that. That's a mouthful coming from that guy. But it was to be expected. So the reporter said, expected how? And he said that player safety for them is secondary. Really? Player safety is secondary. So they don't value the players at all?
You know, they value the player, but they value the player's his opinion. Bro, what you need? Oh, you need 5 yards to get this? Oh, good, and then get it.
Okay.
Oh, you need what you need? You need another tackle to get what? How much you gonna make? You get $25,000 if you get this tackle. Get it and get it.
Okay.
That's how they operate.
Okay. So to your point, Lamar had a back issue last week, and there were a couple of days when I didn't think he was even going to be able to play. So did effectively you put him at some risk, even though he was told just try to get the 5 that we need and go down?
Well.
Okay.
For sure.
And,
he's at risk of being in the game. He got a back issue. You could have hit him. You had ample enough time.
You
Skip,
did.
that wasn't the reason why you lost the game. The reason why you lost the game, you had 50. Skip, you didn't get mad to 59-57. You got the last 3 seconds of the ball game. Okay. That's what you're upset about. That's not what cost you the game, Coach.
So Harbaugh says after the game that he thought he and Vic were on good terms. He said, we had a nice chat before the game. We've known each other for a long time. I promise you, I'm not going to give that insult a second thought. And knowing John, he won't give it a second thought. He will give Vic and his relationship with Vic a second thought because I think the bridge just got burned.
Skip, but you know how the Ravens operate.
Yep.
They do things the Ravens way. Play like a Raven. Be like a Raven.
Yep.
All that other stuff, we didn't concern with what they were talking about in Tennessee or anywhere else, Pittsburgh or Jacksonville. That was the Raiders. That didn't bother us.
Okay.
What permeated from our locker room? That's what it was us.
Okay. So where I agree with you is, what are the Baltimore Ravens? What's their identity now? Maybe not quite as much when you played. They run it down your throat. They take pride. They are going to establish the run and continue to pound away at you no matter what you do. You can put 12 men in the box. They are going to run the football.
But Skip, if you say, we're going to take away your run, if we take away something and you beat us with your hand tied behind your back, because this was only Lamar Jackson's second 300-yard passing in the regular season. Okay. He only has 3 on his resume. So we take away the run, Skip. We make Lamar beat us throwing the football. And you mad? He beat you in a way that you didn't think he could.
Well said. I agree. But in the end, as John Harbaugh is saying, I had to do this for our players and our coaches because he says this is something they'll have for the rest of their lives. Because that 43 consecutive 100-yard rushing games as a team, that's pretty special to me because that's the Steelers from 74 to 77. It took them 3 years to do that.
Yeah,
and now
the Buffalo Bills had like 35.
They did.
That was 74 through 76, something like that.
That was
OJ.
Yes.
What did they call it? The electric company. That was the Riley McKenzie.
Woo. So the point is, he says, I got to do this for us.
Yeah.
I'll risk Lamar. It's a 5% risk that maybe he gets banged up or gets his back hurt or whatever. I'm willing to risk that because this is for our identity. I need them to feel proud that we got to 43, and they got a great shot, I'm sure, to get to 44 and keep going. I don't know. They could set a record that'll never be broken. Because that's who they are. And as he concluded, what's meaningful to us might not be meaningful to Denver because it's not meaningful to Denver. They don't care about that.
Skip, 93, my first year, make the All-Pro, we go into the Oakland Raiders. If we win the game, Skip, we win the division, they come to us in the wild card round. We lose, we go back to them. I need 100, if I'm not mistaken, 126 yards to get 1,000. Now, you know, back then, 1,000 yards for a tight end, that meant something because you ran the football. You didn't throw it like that. I had 121 at the half, 2 touchdowns, and didn't get a target in the second half.
Okay. And?
I lost $100,000.
Did you make your feelings known to anybody?
And guess what? I went back out the next week, caught 13, an NFL record, 13 for $156 and a touchdown.
In the wild card?
In the wild card game.
Okay.
So I went from 6 catches, 121 and 2 touchdowns in the first half, not another target. Come back out the next week, go 13 for $156 and a touchdown.
Did you let your